What if you only had one day in London? Like, what would you absolutely not miss? Hit the ground running, immediate energy, loud music, a fast citywide drone, snap over the Thames straight into the chaos. No logos, no slow build. This is now. I want you to feel like you woke up here, pockets full of possibility. You have 12 hours to attack the city. I'll move fast, tips, photo angles. Start where London's heartbeat is loudest, Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. Walk up the embankment and you feel the weight of history, every stone saturated with stories. Get there at sunrise, empty bridges, golden light. It changes the whole frame and it changes the mood. Position yourself for that classic clock face shot with the Thames in the foreground. Use a wide lens, tight hero of the clock. Capture pedestrians crossing taxis, gliding by those human elements, sell scale and life. If you're shooting video, hold a slow reveal from river up to the tower for that cinematic heartbeat. Don't linger in one postcard frame. Pan, tilt, reflections in puddles, reflections in the river, locals sweeping the bridge.
Get a quick line about the city waking up.
Step into centuries of drama at the Tower of London. Crown Jewels, Raven, stories that sound like movie plots. Book a Yeoman Warder tour. Their delivery is theatrical and full of detail. Pre-booked tickets save you time. When you film the crown jewels, use quick cutaways. The glass case, the polished crowns, the guard's reflection. Get a low angle on the ancient walls to show their thickness and history. Contrast that with tight shots of tourists' faces reacting. Capture the ravens, small characters that pull a sequence together. Wander the battlement's frame. Tower Bridge, the river beyond those skyline overlaps create continuity. Add a quick anecdote from one of the guides. Is it Buckingham Palace for ceremonial pomp? It's the visual shorthand for London. It's worth the classic shot. Aim to arrive early for the changing of the guard and for the quiet forecourt photos that feel cinematic without the crush. Early is everything here. Frame the palace with the parks on either side. Long lenses compress the crowd. Wide lenses capture the gates and the flag. If the guard is marching, use tracking shots to convey rhythm. If not, find a portrait moment of a guard's boots or a guard's hat to create intimacy. Crowd reactions are great B-roll. Be mindful of composition. The palace is symmetrical and expects respect in framing. Use the gates as a foreground element to make the shot feel framed and intentional. Quick tip: scout a bench or a lamppost for a reliable tripod anchor. For cinematic city views, take the eye. The slow, immersive panorama reveals the Thames ribbon and the skyline like a map unfurling. Really, I prefer sunset rides. The light depths and colors change every minute, and you get those sweeping drone-style frames without leaving the pod. Book a timed slot. Inside the pod, move deliberately wide, establishing shots, 50mm close-ups of people's faces reacting to the view. Use the window reflections for layered compositions. You see the city and the subject at once. Keep the soundtrack minimal. Let the city hum. Think in cuts. Exterior shot of the wheel turning. A vertical reveal from the river to the Shard. Faces in the pod. The hand on the glass. The eye is a natural transition moment. Tower Bridge mixes engineering drama with photo-perfect angles. It's architectural theatre. Walk the high-level glass walkways for a jolt. People on the glass floor, the river far below, that feeling of controlled vertigo. Blue hour is your friend, the lights pop and the water becomes a mirror. Shoot the bridge from the south bank for a classic sweep. Get tight on rivets and steelwork for texture. Use a midday contrast shot to show detail return at blue hour for the emotional payoff. Capture the bridge lift if the timing works. Moving parts add motion. Don't forget the human moments. A cyclist crossing a couple photographing themselves, a fisherman on the banks. Those details turn an icon into a lived-in scene. Balance grandeur with the tiny things that make it feel real. Dive into human history at the museum. Rosetta Stone, Parthenon marbles, galleries that make you feel like a time traveler. Use off-peak hours for quieter cinematic interiors and long tracking shots. The museum's architecture is a storyteller itself. Capture the Rosetta Stone from multiple distances. A meditative close-up, a contextual mid-shot, and a human reaction shot. For the Parthenon marbles, tilt from floor to ceiling to convey scale. Hunt for little niche exhibits. Objects with unexpected textures that film wonderfully in macro. Be respectful of the space. No flash, soft footsteps, and patient framing. Interview a docent or a visitor for one-liners about what moved them. That personal voice adds depth. Camden Market brings color, food, and street culture stalls, indie shops, eccentric characters everywhere. You know, this is where you switch to rapid-fire edits, food close-ups, artisan crafts, lively street performances. Embrace the chaos, but curate the best moments. Capture texture, sizzling grills, neon signs, knitted hats, tattooed shopkeepers. Use handheld shots to stay gritty and immediate. Let the sound of chatter and vendors propel the sequence. Quick interviews with stall owners give the market character and authenticity. Find a rooftop vantage to pull back and show the market's pulse. Canal side aerial to show the market in the neighborhood. The contrast between narrow alleys and sudden open spaces makes for dynamic cutting. Recharge in Hyde Park, serene lakes, swans, wide green expanses that act like a deep breath in the city. After markets and monuments, this is your human moment. Slow motion, walkers, kids, running people, rowing boats. Let the sequences breathe. Capture the long water at golden hour. Rowers cutting lines across reflective water, swans, gliding, joggers passing. Use a shallow depth of field to focus on faces and small interactions. A child feeding ducks, a couple sharing a closing line. These are the intimate beats. Include natural sound, leaves, distant laughter, the slap of oars on water. Film a sunrise or sunset walk to create a calm counterpoint to the day's energy. Hyde Park is where the city softens and your story finds a pause. Westminster Abbey is solemn and spectacular. Gothic arches, stained glass, layers of national memory. Inside, drop your volume and your pace. The voiceover becomes hushed and reverent. Respectful framing is essential here. Look up the nave, the height and rhythm of the columns, memorial plaques, carved stone detail, watchlight filter through colored glass. Use silence as a compositional tool. Someone pausing, a tour group, listening.
A quiet chuckle.
Balance the monumental with the personal. End with a Thames River cruise to stitch the city together, passing landmarks, riverside life, unbeatable skyline transitions. On the water you get moving frames of everything you've seen. Bridges, facades, people living on the banks. It's cinematic glue. Board a late afternoon cruise for golden hour continuity. From the deck, long establishing shots, handheld portraits of passengers watching the city go by. Capture the wake lines and the soft slap of water. Use the cruise to narrate closure. The river has seen the city grow, and every neighborhood we visited threads back to this water. Let the light change across the frame as the sun drops. Those subtle shifts sell time passing. Recap montage. Fast cuts of the best moments. Big Ben's clock, crown jewels sparkle, changing of the guard, London Eye sunset, Tower Bridge lit at blue hour, Rosetta Stone detail, Camden chaos, Hyde Park calm, Westminster interior, Thames glide, 8 to 10 highlights. Sharp, rhythmic, each one a memory punch. Which one would you visit first? Drop it in the comments. I want your pick. I want your story. Which place pulled you in? If you like this day plan, save it, share it, or do it live. Tweak the order, add a coffee spot, make it yours.